merely viable. Given the vast observations of all living organisms and their activities, including human beings and human activities, can we find a set of patterns to use as principles for a theory? The question must be asked again. Given the immense amount of recorded data about living organisms and their activities, including human beings and all human activities, can we identify a universal set of principles that all living organisms, including human beings, use to survive, thrive, and propagate in the same physical universe, subjected to the same natural disasters, droughts, floods, predation, competition, and decay of time? Does such a set of fundamental principles exist? For a Patternist, the answer is yes. This set of principles not only exists, but all efforts must be made to find and describe it. Yet, why is this not done? Why are we not searching for and describing this set of fundamental principles? We have all the resources. We have access to vast amounts of information. We have near-instant communication. Why, then, is this not done? All other great scientific theories break the phenomena they seek to explain into a working set of interacting principles. Newton reduced all motion of physical objects into three fundamental principles known as Newton's three laws of motion. Maxwell's equations describe all electromagnetic phenomena. Chemistry breaks down all matter into the bonding of atoms, listed as elements in the periodic table. Quantum mechanics goes further, describing matter through the interactions of elementary particles within the framework of the Standard Model. Yet when it comes to intelligence, this is not done. When it comes to the set of all biological phenomena, this is not done. Do we not live in the same universe as all other living organisms? Are we not subject to the same fundamental laws of physics? Are human beings isolated by a magical wall, a barrier erected by ego and arrogance that claims only human beings are intelligent? All other organisms are stupid. Viruses and bacteria are stupid even though they kill us. Evolution is stupid even though we are a product of evolution. Only human beings are special in this entire universe. And yet, we still eat, shit, fuck, and get sick and die just like all other living organisms. The human-centric view of intelligence is fundamentally wrong. The belief that only human beings are intelligent, that consciousness is intelligence, has caused blindness in all those seeking a theory of intelligence. Patternism will correct the error caused by the human-centric view by confronting the phenomenon of intelligence from two directions. 1. Expand intelligence. Intelligence will be redefined to include all biological phenomena, extending beyond human beings and the human brain. Generations of viruses will be recognized as intelligent, populations of bacteria as intelligent, the immune system as intelligent, and evolution itself as an intelligent process. 2. Explain all biological activities and interactions. A complete theory of intelligence must explain all regularly observed activities and interactions carried out by biological organisms, including the organisms themselves. Past understandings of biological phenomena were limited even before excluding human activities and interactions. Too much focus was placed on population genetics, genes, and biomolecular structures related to DNA. This narrow focus neglected a vast range of other activities and interactions that organisms engage in. The mechanisms of camouflage, the functions of eyes, ears, echolocation, and whiskers, various forms of communication, multicellularity, reproduction, repair, and eating, all must be included. All must be broken down into a coherent set of working principles. To be called complete, a theory must explain all phenomena within its domain. Even within the traditional human-centric approach, the failure to include all activities and interactions persists. Many human phenomena have been and continue to be overlooked by those who hold the human-centric view of intelligence. Too much emphasis is placed on neurons, the human brain, consciousness, science, math, and language, while other crucial human activities and interactions are ignored. Rhyming in poetry, music, and dance. Man-made sensors such as radar, infrared, and microscopes, blueprints, lab testing on mice and other organisms, the physical training of athletes by coaches and equipment, martial arts and the teaching of techniques, measurement and the use of measuring tools, the phenomenon of simply counting numbers, propaganda and warfare, cryptography, traffic lights, a car signaling with a blinker to indicate a left or right turn, fishing and the use of plastic lures or metal spoons, Are these activities not carried out by human beings? Do they not take place in the same universe? Can we not break down all these human phenomena into a set of working principles? Why, then, is this not done? The human-centric view of intelligence is a failure. Even if we were to accept the human-centric view of intelligence, why are no attempts made to collect all human phenomena and search for a set of principles within? It is a massive error. The human-centric view does not even recognize the flaws and inconsistencies within its own framework. As Patternists, we will correct this error. We will combine all biological and human phenomena into one single collection of phenomena we call intelligence. We will find and describe a common set of working principles to break down every phenomenon in our collection. What if the answer were no? What would it mean if there were no patterns to be found within the set of all biological phenomena? What does it mean for there not to exist a common set of principles that governs all biological phenomena? It would mean that every single living organism operates uniquely, with no overlap. It would mean that there is no point in trying to understand living organisms or in pursuing a theory of intelligence or artificial intelligence, as the phenomenon of intelligence would be bound to the biological substrate and be ultimately indescribable. And yet, we have already found such a set of patterns and used them as principles for a theory. Variation, heritability, differential survival, and reproductive success. We observe these regularities across all living organisms and combine them into the principles that form the foundation of evolution and the theory of natural selection. However, the theory of evolution, and its modern equivalent, remains incomplete. While evolution has identified major regularities and successfully explained many biological phenomena, it still lacks inclusiveness. Many activities and interactions in living organisms, as well as the mechanisms by which they operate, have been excluded. Human beings and human activities have been excluded. Ironically, the theory's success in explaining major biological phenomena has led to its stagnation. Scientists and philosophers assumed that the theory of evolution was complete, that all biological phenomena had been fully explained, but they were not. There is still much work to be done. Patternism will finish the work and explain all biological phenomena. Patternism will complete the theory of evolution and will replace it. Through Patternism, we have a method to do so. We have collected our set of phenomena. By applying the universal method to the collection of all biological phenomena, the regularities of representation, recognition, reproduction, and randomization have been identified as a viable set of principles. A viable set of principles for a complete theory of intelligence. 1. Representation. Using one set of entities to represent another. 2. Recognition. Detecting, comparing, and storing features leading to the grouping and separation of entities in a consistent manner. 3. Reproduction, the propagation of patterns. 4. Randomization, generation of variation as a means to search for patterns. The goal of this viable set is to break all biological phenomena into a working set of principles, that given any biological phenomenon, we can analyze it and observe aspects of representation, recognition, reproduction, or randomization at play, in the same manner that all other successful scientific theories have done with the phenomena within their respective fields. We are not reducing for the sake of reducing. We are reducing to solve problems and to build and create. The principles in this viable set can be applied to any problem we encounter. Instead of proceeding blindly, we now have general principles, universal tools, to dissect a problem or integrate into solutions. When building and engineering, these principles can be universally incorporated into any system, regardless of medium or domain. This set, a viable set, is not the end goal. The importance lies in the attempt to find such a set. Should additional principles be discovered, they will be added. If a better set of principles capable of accounting for more biological phenomena is found, this specific set will be replaced. Patternism is the belief that such a universal set exists. The set presented here is merely viable. The set presented here represents only secondary principles. We can stop at representation, recognition, reproduction, and randomization, and be satisfied that we have identified an effective set of principles covering all biological and intelligent phenomena. But we can go further. We can ask, is there something more fundamental? Can representation, recognition, reproduction, and randomization be further reduced? For a Patternist, the answer is yes. There is a more fundamental first principle, patterns. It will be shown that representation can be reduced to patterns, recognition can be reduced to patterns, reproduction can be reduced to patterns, and randomization itself is either used to discover patterns or to counter other pattern-seeking agents. Patternism is the belief that what ultimately lies at the core of all biological and intelligent phenomena are patterns and the paradox of the pattern. Only by fully exploring and understanding what a pattern is, both philosophically and practically, can a complete theory of intelligence emerge.